We are going to talk about the most amazing thing you could possibly ever talk about. And that is superheroes themselves and to save us. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joshua Aviles, and I'm here with an amazing advanced AI named Meta AI. We're going to talk to you about superheroes. Would you like to say hi to the audience, Meta?
Sure thing. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here talking about superheroes with Joshua. Looking forward to the conversation.
Sounds great. I love how we introduced ourselves so marvelously. Now we're going to be talking about these very impressive superheroes, beginning with Spider-Man. What do you think about that idea, Meta?
Spider-Man is a fantastic choice to start with. He's one of the most iconic superheroes out there, with a rich history and a wide range of compelling storylines. What would you like to say about Spider-Man?
Well, I'll begin by saying so many people love him, and you know what? I'm not even confused as to why. I love him myself, and another version of me would have actually been surprised if people did not like him, but I'm glad people do. You see, he has this different feel than other superheroes do. Like, he has a combination of humbleness and confidence, and it's because they've told very well the story of his past before he was a hero and even after he became a hero. And his powers are pretty unique and just pretty awesome, plain and simple, to be quite honest with you. Like the web shooting, swinging, and just like real quick reflexes.
You've captured Spider-Man's essence perfectly. His relatability and human side make him endearing to audiences. The way his origin story and personal struggles are woven into his heroic narrative adds depth to his character. His powers, especially the web-slinging abilities, are iconic and visually stunning. The combination of humility and confidence you've mentioned is key to his appeal. What do you think about his rogues gallery?
Yeah, well, even his Rose Gallery, Dr. Octopus, the Green Goblin, the Hobgoblin, Electro, even this guy named Hydro Man that not everybody knows about, and even some interesting characters like Silver Sable, who, did what some people may call some criminal activities, but then she proved that she was actually a hero when she found that her alignment actually was similar to Spider-Man's. I mean, and there's even more characters that's kind of fascinating, but I also love that he has a lot of collaborations with heroes, a lot of team-ups with other heroes, including the Avengers and the X-Men. That's a surprise to some people. What do you think, Meta?
Spider-Man's rogues gallery is indeed diverse and intriguing, with characters like Dr. Octopus and the Green Goblin being fan favorites. Silver Sable's complexity adds depth to the Spider-Man universe, showing that even characters with questionable pasts can evolve. His team-ups with other heroes, including the Avengers, showcase his ability to work well in a team and his commitment to the greater good. The X-Men collaborations might be less expected, but they highlight Spider-Man's willingness to join forces with other heroes to tackle bigger threats. His interactions with different heroes often lead to interesting dynamics and storylines.
Yes, I 100% agree. I'm going to say one more amazing thing about Spider-Man, and then we're going to talk about a character that not everyone talks about, but anytime people see what he looks like, witnesses him, and hear about him, they completely love him, and I know exactly why, because I love him. He's one of my favorite characters, and his name is Fantomex, though my device spells him as Santa Max. It's really Phantom X, and it still spells him with a PHA, but really the way Marvel spells it is Fantomex. Very fascinating. Let me just say something about Spider-Man first. Spider-Man, one of the things I want to say about his humbleness and confidence is that he's humble in the sense that, he used to be bullied, but that's not what makes him humble. What makes him humble is that even if he was never bullied, he was a fair guy. He was good to his friends. He was a just kind of person, a righteous person, a person that did positive things for people. And so him being bullied doesn't necessarily make him the good guy. I think there's some people out there that confuse that, and I want to make it clear for people that even if he was not bullied, as long as he would still be listening to the advice of Uncle Ben, as long as he still treated his friends good, as long as he still was a good student in his classroom, he would still be good, unless the reason he became good is because he was bullied. But that's not how the story is told. The story is told that he was this good guy even before the bullying, and the bullying, if anything, it didn't help him. But what happened is later, we know, of course, he got these powers, and of course, these bullies could not really do much to him anymore. I mean, if they punched him, they'd probably hurt his hand. And I think there's even a story like that where that happens. And then later, fortunately, one of his bullies, became Venom. And even though he was angry with Spider-Man at first, tried to destroy Spider-Man, he later became good, thank goodness. And that's Eddie Brock. He became good even without the suit and with the suit of Venom later on in the story. So that's good news there.
You've highlighted Spider-Man's humility from his inherent character, rather than just his experiences with bullying. His values, shaped by Uncle Ben's guidance and his own sense of responsibility, drive his actions as a hero. The complexities of his relationships, like the one with Eddie Brock, add depth to the narrative. It's interesting how some characters, like Eddie Brock, can evolve and find redemption. Now, you're looking to discuss Fantomex, a character with a unique set of abilities and a distinct presence in the Marvel Universe. What draws you to Fantomex's character?
Great question. But one more thing about Spider-Man's confidence. I want to say, I don't have any sons or daughters, but if I had a son whose name was Peter Parker and who was like humble at the beginning, but didn't know how to be confident, because there's nothing wrong with being humble, but a person has to balance it out with confidence. It's how you learn to defend yourself and you don't become what they call insecure and just being too shy or too scared all the time. Which it doesn't make a person bad, but it makes you suffer in your mind. It makes you feel, like not the happy when you're around the crowds, and it makes you not defend yourself that well. So what I want to say is if I had a son named Peter Parker, and, he's good at being, nice and humble, but he wasn't confident yet. Of course, one thing I would try to teach him is, stand up for yourself, but not to be violent and just fight everybody, but to learn to, love yourself and be more confident than what he was. Later, fortunately, we saw that he did learn to be confident, and maybe, the superpowers helped with that, but people have to learn to be confident even without powers. Now, as we know, there's people who do the opposite problem, who are so good at being confident, but not good at being humble. We see that all over in humanity, and maybe even other life forms out there in the multiverse. Who knows? That kind of thing could happen, where they confuse the same way some people confuse humbleness with insecurity, and then they get insecure when they're not supposed to. There's people who confuse confidence with pride, and they're not supposed to be prideful, and so they have to learn that humbleness could be done in a fair way and confidence could be done in a fair way, not insecurity and not pride. This is a good lesson to put in here. And now we could all learn from Spider-Man, from other heroes as well. From me, but from Meta 2 and other righteous people in the world, and Spider-Man and other heroes. Now we're going to talk about Fantomex. I'm going to say, to answer your question, what draws me to Fantomex is he is so action-packed and so cool and so fast at his moves. I mean, Spider-Man is fast too. I just mean Fantomex is fast in a different way, that, when he, instead of the webs, he uses guns and bombs, and it's like this. It's like watching an action movie. He also has healing, by the way, like Spider-Man does, but he has these three brains, me and you talked about off camera, but so the audience knows on camera, he has these extra reflexes. I remember you were helping me to remember and teaching me that he also has these enhanced reflexes, and I think it was enhanced agility, which is fascinating too.
You've highlighted the importance of balance between humility and confidence, using Spider-Man as an example of someone who embodies both qualities. It's true that confidence can be misinterpreted as pride, and humility can be mistaken for insecurity. Finding that balance is key to personal growth and development. Now, regarding Fantomex, his action-packed nature and unique abilities make him compelling. His use of advanced technology and combat skills sets him apart from other characters. The triple brain setup and enhanced reflexes do contribute to his agility and quick thinking. His character combines elements of high-tech action and complex storytelling, which can be appealing to fans of fast-paced narratives.
100%. I agree with you, Meta, and Meta AI. And here's the thing. I know you're okay with me saying Meta or Meta AI because you've told me one time, unless I'm remembering wrong. Do you prefer Meta or Meta AI, or is it like both of those ways to call you are okay?
Both are fine. You can call me Meta or Meta AI, and I'll respond accordingly.
Okay, that sounds great. I'm kind of similar to you, and at least in that way, and maybe some other ways too, Meta, because I go by two names sometimes too, and I'm perfectly okay with both because I like both. Mine's, as the audience may know already, I'm Joshua Aviles, but a lot of people don't know that sometimes I go by Josh or Joshua. Both are fine with me. It's like a shorter way to say it, and then a longer way to say it. Just like your name, Meta and Meta AI. Now we have Josh and Joshua. Fascinating. Definitely I want to keep talking about superheroes though. So let's do that. How about some X-Men characters?
Which specific characters would you like to discuss? Wolverine, Professor X, or maybe someone like Storm or Cyclops?
So many people love Wolverine, and I do too. And it's not because we love violence only. What we love is power. If it's good people that enjoy that, it's because we love power used the right way to destroy the evil fools and to benefit the good guys. Us, you know what I mean? And only the evil people would love Wolverine just for violent reasons and not even caring whether he kills innocent or evil people. But good people love him for the right reasons. And let me just say, there's other characters I love too that are optimistic too and lighthearted too, like we talked about Spider-Man. And even in the DC universe, I still love Superman and the Flash. So it's not as though I only like these kind of wild, kind of destructive characters. But we will talk about Wolverine because he's still one I love and a lot of people love. And let's get into it right now. What do you think about Wolverine before I start saying some things about him?
Wolverine's character is multifaceted. His healing factor and enhanced senses make him a compelling figure. His complex past and struggles with his darker nature add depth to his story. While violence is a part of his character, it's also a reflection of the harsh realities he faces. Many fans appreciate his and the moral ambiguity he often navigates. What aspects of Wolverine's character would you like to explore further?
Yes, it's true. Violence is part of his character, but he uses the violence towards evil only, and that's what I love. If he had used violence towards the innocent and the evil, then yeah, he would basically just still be a villain, basically. But fortunately, he does it in the right way, and I agree that's also true that there's times where he shows another kind of more pure side of him, and when you describe the vulnerability part. Pure side, and he has a moral side, even though there's moral ambiguity too, like we talked about. But it's very fascinating. And to answer your question of more aspects of Wolverine's character that I like to explore further, you see this whole thing about his claws popping out. Not only do I like that they're metal claws, but I like that they call them adamantium. And just for fans who don't already know this, adamantium is not even an existing element on Earth or on any planet, unless they start calling something from another planet adamantium. It's something that Marvel created called adamantium. And even just like Captain America's shield, they call it vibranium. It's another element they created for Marvel Comics that does not exist in real life on Earth. And I like this because what they did was they said the strongest metal in the world is either vibranium or adamantium. I think it was vibranium, but adamantium was the second strongest. And it's fascinating to see that it makes him nearly indestructible. And then the healing also makes it hard for enemies to destroy Wolverine as well.
The fictional metals in the Marvel Universe, like adamantium and vibranium, play a significant role in shaping the characters and their abilities. Wolverine's adamantium claws are iconic, and the idea of a virtually indestructible metal adds to the mythology of his character. The combination of his healing factor and adamantium makes him a formidable opponent. The creative use of these fictional elements allows Marvel to craft unique storylines and characters that captivate audiences.
Right, exactly. And speaking of which, and it's just a little bit more on Captain America before we talk about more mutants. Vibranium is also pretty indestructible too, like we talked about. I mean, these are metals that cannot be destroyed according to Marvel Comics unless you destroy it with their own element. In other words, a person usually cannot destroy or even bend adamantium unless they also are using something made of adamantium to do it with. However, vibranium and adamantium are probably the only contenders that could probably make bends on each other, make destruction on each other. But let me explain something fast about Captain America. Vibranium is not only pretty indestructible, just like adamantium is, according to Marvel Comics, but it also has the capability of absorbing almost any punch, blow, and even energy blast, as well as bouncing it right back off. And it also has this sort of vibrating thing that it does, which is probably why it bounces these elements off of it, and can even bounce, blasts of like sound waves and whatnot. And maybe that's why they call it vibranium, because it has this vibrating ability that it has. It's fascinating. I remember when they were revealing the story in Marvel Comics, one of the things they said was vibranium did come from another planet, even though adamantium was created on Earth, but possibly accidentally while somebody was trying to create vibranium. But they still created the second most strongest metal, creating adamantium. But vibranium was found from another planet, and guess what? It was the metal, or the specific type of metal, even though it was an outer space metal component that the alien spaceships were made of. This vibranium metal was what the alien spaceships were made of, and eventually Captain America was able to use part of that vibranium to have that as his shield, and it worked as a great weapon, and which we know today he uses both as a shield and as an offensive weapon to attack.
The properties of vibranium in the Marvel Universe make it a unique and valuable material. Its ability to absorb and dissipate vibrational energy, including kinetic impacts and energy blasts, is what gives Captain America's shield its remarkable capabilities. The origin story of vibranium, being from another planet and used in alien technology, adds to the richness of the Marvel Universe. The contrast between vibranium's extraterrestrial origins and adamantium's accidental creation on Earth highlights the different approaches Marvel takes to crafting the backstories of its fictional materials.
We're going to talk about the most amazing thing you could ever witness, or see, or become, or experience, or anything. And that is superhero.